welcome, and thank you for joining our webinar today, focused on CompleteView and our remote training offering. I'm Jason Schimpf, VP of Partner Programs and Education. I'll be your host and helping out with a little bit of the content today. First and foremost, on behalf of everyone at AMAG, I hope you, your family and friends, and your colleagues are all safe and healthy through this crazy time we're living through right now. We have a lot of great things going on at AMAG, and these webinars provide important corporate updates, drive awareness to AMAG's new products and features, share best practices, and dive into unique product features that will help you differentiate your company and yourself from others when you team up with us. If you have any questions today, please type them in the question box, and we'll address as many as we can during this WebEx at the end. And those that we don't get a chance to address today, we will follow up after the webinar. Today, I'll kick it off talking a little bit about our remote training or virtual training, some people like to call it, for training and certification classes. Then I'll turn it over to Chris Randall to give you some key selling points on our fastest growing product line for the last 5 years, CompleteView. Over the past 5 years, AMAG has grown beyond access control to transform ourselves into a total solution provider, focusing on reducing cost, mitigating risk, and increasing compliance with external regulation. In our previous webinars, we briefly introduced what AMAG is doing in several areas of our business beyond access control to help our channel and end users solve problems and becoming an end-to-end solutions provider with a robust ecosystem of best-of-breed technology partners. All of those webinars and much more are available for free on our YouTube channel that was previously on our e-learning system. We moved them over to the YouTube channel. You can see that link down there in the bottom left at youtube.com, Symmetry Resources. If you have any questions, again, please type them into the box. Let's go ahead and get started. So over the last 4 months, remote/virtual training has become a critical necessity. So today, we'll take just a few minutes to give you some high-level overview of what we are offering. So on the left box here, you can see the access control classes, and on the right, you're going to see our CompleteView classes. This makes up the 5 most popular classes that we offer today, both in the class and the 5 offerings that we have remotely. Starting with number 1 up there in the top left, the Essential Certification. This is a 4.5-day class. Covers all the features, the functionality of the software and hardware, installation, troubleshooting, initial setup, and configuration. This is the class that you have to have 2 of your technicians minimum certified on to be a reseller of ours and get access to our tech support. Rolling over to the middle column there, we have 2 courses that focus on the end users, the folks who are actually using the software day in and day out. The first one is a 2-day class. This one provides training to perform the day-to-day tasks of operating the access control system. The 3-day course directly below that covers the same information, and then it adds an extra day of administering that access control system. So if you've got end users, or if you're on the call and you are an end user and you want to take those classes, your team does not need to go through both classes. You can figure out which one they belong in, if they're doing the day-to-day tasks, or if they're one administering the software, and you could put them into the right class. Both of those classes are scheduled as needed, and you sign up for a information session. Basically tells you when the classes will be available on the website on the bottom left of the screen right there, amag.com/training. You go to click for a registered class, it'll show you that it's not available. You say, send me information when it's available. The Essential Certification, that schedule is online, and we're running about 2 classes per week in North America, and we're running about 1 or 2 classes internationally over in Europe and Asia Pacific, on about 1 to 2 classes per month. On the right side, we've got the CompleteView classes for our video platform. The first one also is an instructor-led class. It's a 2-day class. This training provides interactive situation with the instructor with live IP cameras and hands-on experience. It's a fully functioning CompleteView 2020 system. Down at the bottom, if you don't have the time to be able to sit in a class for 2 days in a row, you are looking to get trained on the video platform at your own pace, we do have an on-demand class. This one actually is free, and it is interactive with the program. Again, self-paced for everything you need to know about CompleteView 2020. Our CompleteView courses, we do team up with our OEM provider, Salient Systems, and it's their instructors that are actually going to walk you through this for the training. On the left side, the access control classes are all taught by our in-house teaching class. Now, for more information, again, go to amag.com/training. And for pricing, please reach out to your local sales manager, or you can go ahead and email the training department at training@amag.com. Now let's go ahead and turn it over to Chris Randall to tell us a little bit more about the CompleteView system and what new enhancements have come out with the latest version. Chris?
Good morning. Thanks, Jason. Much appreciated. And I appreciate you also touching in the beginning, right, about cost, risk, and compliance, right? Those are all drivers, right, for our business and the solutions we're sharing with our resellers and end users. And I think it's kind of important to point out, right, as we talk about CompleteView, what that product roadmap or what that technology vision is, right? As we develop products and bring them to the market, right, the key drivers are really ensuring that we've got products and solutions that are easier to install, right? Champion open standards, and then also expand our partner solutions, right? So that's the technology vision as we develop and improve the products. And ultimately, you know, trying to deliver to our resellers and our end users systems that streamline operations, right, drive efficiencies, and then a critical component, right, is always meeting compliance. So, you know, as we add product improvements like we're going to review briefly today for CompleteView, those are some of our thought processes about those next steps. Next slide, Greg. Thanks. So from a feature set, right, CompleteView 2020 has a handful of really critical new features that are released with this version. A significant one is a true failover or redundancy component, which I'll get into a bit more detail about how to scope that and how that functions in a later slide. The release of video wall support, right? So as customers are moving from smaller systems to more complicated, larger deployments, right? Video wall in an SoC or a GSoC is critical. So true support from a video wall perspective is now available, which is fantastic. On a more kind of technical side, OnViv Profile S, right, is available. Again, you know, that kind of links to that open standard concept, right? So more configuration, more support for a wider variety of cameras on the marketplace, as well as H.265 support, right? So this is the next iteration of H.264 in Access, Hike Vision, and a number of other cameras that are now managing data with H.265. And then finally, 360 fisheye camera support with dynamic resolution scaling. So where the CompleteView product leads the market, honestly, is managing the transfer of video from the recording server to the client stations, right, to where the operators are actually viewing it. Dynamic resolution scaling is a key component to that, a true differentiator on the market that allows a large video deployment to still be light, right, on the IT infrastructure. More and more of the fisheye products, right, these high megapixel products are being deployed in the marketplace because it makes sense. And then now that we're able to manage that large volume of video with dynamic resolution scaling, it drives, you know, more efficiencies, right, and streamlines operations for the users, right? They're able to access the video, view the video, and action on it in a quicker fashion. So 5 solid introductions in 5.1. Greg, yep, next slide. Thank you. Perfect. So the slide may appear complicated, right? But it's really not. So I just kind of wanted to share the method or the process, right, of failover. The box at the top is our management server, right? And the management server is communicating in a heartbeat with the primary recording server or the primary recording servers across a deployment, which would be what we have on the left side. When the management server is not able to get a response, right, or doesn't recognize the primary server, the management server then automatically directs the standby recording server to pick up that video. At some point, right, hopefully not very long, right, minutes, days, hours, the primary recording server will then come back online, and the management server will then reroute that video back to the primary recording server. The beauty of the application is that the video that's being captured, right, by the standby recording server is stored in a shared storage drive. So what this means functionally, right, so that's kind of the technical component, but what it means functionally is that for the folks that are operating the system, right, our guards, our officers, the folks that are monitoring the video or doing research looking back for video, they're able to find that video, whether it was in the standby recording server or the primary recording server, seamlessly. So they won't have to sort of jump between the two, knowing that, oh, the server was down for 5 minutes, I've got to capture that video there. The key component to that is, right, is having all of the information in one spot, being able to capture it and then use it for reporting, compliance, event, without having to sort of piece together two different streams of video. So really a eloquent solution to the question of redundancy for video. Next slide, please. A handful of other features that are now in 5.1 that were previously supported in the 4.8 video solution are CD and DVD export, right? So the importance of that ability is that you're able to have a chain of custody on the data on the video, right? So if you're presenting video evidence, being able to write it to a DVD or CD is important from a law enforcement perspective, because this is media that can't be edited, right? It's locked in. Smart Search continues to be supported. Pushing updates, right, from the central server to the various distributed servers is available. Real-time camera diagnostics is available in 5.1. The ability to reorder cameras, right, in your camera tree is available. Auto login as well are all available now in CV 2020 version 5.1. The next slide is busy, right? But the idea here is to give you a brief understanding of how to size, or the value in sizing, a redundant server. You know, the old way of doing a redundant server is just double up whatever your order, right? And fiscally, that's maybe not the best answer when you think about how often redundant servers are actually going to be employed or used, and how much storage and that they will need. So within the configuration tool, the CompleteView configuration tool on our website, you're able to identify your cameras, your primary recording requirements, and then also your failover recording requirements. The tool itself is going to give you a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 3 servers there would be 1 redundant server. But you can also choose 2-to-1 ratios or 1-to-1 ratios, depending on the criticality of the deployment. And then you're also able to identify a percentage relative to full recording, right? So if you have in the example, right, 120 terabyte server, the thought is, do you need to double that, right, for recording, or you know that it's going to be simply a temporary outage, so you can use a much smaller, more fiscally responsible method of storing that failover data. So the tool actually will walk you through those steps and then provide all the appropriate server size and storage calculations relative to your specific requirements, right? Everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's going to have slightly different storage requirements. So that's the update. That's the Symmetry Design Tool Wizard, right? And that's already updated on the website, easy to access and really quite simple to use. If you do have questions on that, you know, our regional sales managers and application engineers are always available to support you with questions there. The final version on CV 5.1.1, a mid-release, is some technology being released related to enhanced TLS encrypted communications between the recordings and the management server. Obviously, IT and data security is becoming more and more important, so that's fantastic. BriefCam is a very popular product out on the market, and BriefCam integration is now built into the desktop client rather than having to use a secondary tool to utilize the BriefCam functionality. It's now built right inside the CompleteView tool. And then finally, Hikvision and Hanwha API updates are built in as well for support on those products. And Jason, that's my update on Symmetry CompleteView 5.0.
Excellent. Excellent, Chris. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. If anybody has questions, we do have a few more minutes. Go ahead and type them into the Q&A section. We did get one that came in a little bit earlier in regards to pricing. So just as a recap, for pricing information on training, please visit the AMAG's published price list or reach out to your local sales manager, and they can help you with that pricing. The self-paced CompleteView course is free. And again, you can get some more information by reaching out to your local salesperson or emailing training@amag.com. If you are a Platinum end user that is signed up for our Platinum SSA service, you get access to all of the AMAG training for free. There's one caveat with two caveats with that. One, you have to come to us if it's at one of our physical locations. If we come to you, then you still have to pay for it, but coming to us, it's free. And the remote classes are free if you have the hardware that you'll need for the Essentials class. For the two end user courses, the operator and the system manager, there is no hardware requirements. You just need access to a computer with the Symmetry Access Control software. However, for the Access Control Essentials course, you will need access to local hardware. If you need to purchase hardware, we can work with your reseller to help set that up for you. Next question about sending out YouTube link. Yes, as a follow-up to this webinar, we will send out an update to everybody that is registered and viewed this with the recording and the link to the webinar series. It'll usually come out a day afterwards by the time the video is done processing and we get it on YouTube, so you'll have that by tomorrow. If you need access to the video today because you need it urgently, just reach out to your local sales manager and we can get that taken care of for you, get that out to you. That looks like that's all the questions that came in for today. So I want to thank Chris for co-hosting. And I want to give a special shout out to the man behind the curtain who manages these webinars month in and month out, Greg Diamond. Greg has done a fantastic job over the last 2 years doing this. This is our 24th month of webinars. And just before this webinar today, we did run into some technical glitches that Greg was able to fix immediately. So hopefully when you guys all logged in, it went without a hitch. So thanks again, Greg, for all your hard work on this. Again, as always, the webinar and all previous versions are on the YouTube channel, which you'll get in that link tomorrow. As soon as we end this webinar, a short survey will pop up in your browser. I believe it's 3, maybe 4 questions. Please take a moment to fill that out. We want to make sure that we're delivering the best information in these webinars. Stay healthy. Again, thank you for joining us. Our next webinar is going to be on Tuesday, July 21st, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Have a fantastic rest of your day.